WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. The NHL trade deadline is at 3 p.m. today. Here to tell you everything you need to know is Baylee Matthews, Andrew Garofalo, Jason Hook, and Matthew Zoppi. We heard a lot of trade rumors circling this week as the league resumed activity after the Olympics. Andrew, out of the speculation, who do you think had the best trade here?
I'm going to say Colton Parayko potentially to Buffalo. Buffalo's a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 14 years. It's the longest drought in NHL history. And right now, they're currently, after a win last night, they're tied in the Atlantic Division. And I think Parayko could benefit from a change of scenery, but fortunately last night I read he's not going to waive his no trade clause, so that will not go through.
Bailey, I should say the potential trade, but walk us through it.
Yeah, for me it's definitely Ryan O'Reilly. You know, I don't want to see Ryan O'Reilly leave Nashville. I'm like, girl, you better work in Nashville. And it doesn't seem like he wants to leave Nashville either, but he just makes sense for the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, they already have some depth in the middle with McKinnon and what's his first name? Brock Nelson. But having O'Reilly in the center could really push them past that second round, which they haven't been able to make for the past 2 years. And, you know, the Preds really need a 2027 first-round pick. Like, that could be big for us. And, you know, we've done a lot of trades for draft picks, which is a smart decision. We should keep it up.
Absolutely.
Zoppi, I'll swing it to you. What potential trade makes the most sense?
Speaking on Buffalo, this is a blockbuster. Robert Thomas to the Sabres. The Sabres, as stated, haven't made the playoffs since Rebecca Black's Friday was popular. 15 years ago.
You better work, Matt Zoppi. You tell him.
15 years ago.
Talk to him.
That was very...
And it would elevate this team. You have one of the best distributors to one of the best scorers in Tage Thompson. By the way, go Huskies. Perfect match on the top line would elevate the Sabres team from a pretender to, in my opinion, a contender.
Word.
I mean, that was very great insight. I had no idea about all the things that you
He's mad, Coop.
just talked about.
He's mad.
They didn't want to give up picks. What's the point of giving up picks? You're going to be in the 20s. I don't like when teams who are going to make the playoffs don't give up picks.
You tell him.
Me neither.
I mean, Rams 2021, for example.
Jason finished off with a potential trade that makes the most sense.
Yeah, this one involves the Islanders of New York. Emil Heineman, you better work, girl, at being better at hockey, because I think Jordan Kyrou should be your replacement in the second line for the Islanders. 33 points on the year for the St. Louis Blues. He was an All-Star in 2022. The Islanders need better forward play. They've been working towards building up that defense for the past few years now in the draft. I think this is the perfect move that gets them over the hump. Like you said, pretender to contender, I think they actually look like a true playoff team now with a guy like Kyrou.
Yeah, the NHL playoffs are a little over a month away. Some teams need to shape up very quickly to become contenders. Zoppi, I'll go to you. Who could use a good trade to keep themselves in the playoffs?
Speaking on the teams, you have to add the Ducks, the Red Wings, and the Sox. The teams have the longest playoff droughts. I'm a New York Jet fan, and I know what a long playoff drought is. It's terrible. The fans want to be in the playoffs, and these teams need to make a trade. They're all either borderline or contenders, pretenders. They need to probably make one trade to either elevate them to contender or for the West teams to be a playoff team.
Zoppi, you are absolutely working today.
I mean, being a Jet fan is absolutely brutal. Missing the playoffs for 15, probably going to be 17 straight.
Oh, girl, trust me, I know.
Anyway, keeping things back on track.
Coming from the
hockey,
Islanders fan.
Jason, walk us through with a good trade here.
Islanders, Jets, and now Yankees. It's not a good look for Jason Hook out here. But I'm going to talk about the Seattle Kraken, because the Seattle Kraken right now are a few games back of the Utah Mammoth. They're in the second wildcard spot right now. I think this is a better team than how they've been playing this year. It feels like Utah right now is just a tier above Seattle, where if they add, I don't know if they're one player away, but they could be a few skaters away from really improving this team. And I think talent-wise, this could be a contender in the West.
Bailey, walk us through a team that needs a good trade.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of build off of what Jason said. I think Utah, you better work. Come on.
Yeah, I thought they'd be really good, but they've been fine. They just need help.
Well, I
yeah?
said last year on the desk, like getting a team early on in your tenure to the playoffs is super special to fans. And that really builds a fan base like that. That creates an institutional memory
Like
of being in the
OKC
playoffs.
early in their life.
Right. And, right now they're in the wild card spot for the Western Conference. And like Jason said, I don't know if even if they had one really good trade, I think there are too many heavy hitters in the West for them to make it past the first round. But with a couple good trades, maybe. Who's to say? And I think that would be awesome. I would love for them to really work and prove me wrong.
Andrew.
I'm going to go with the Anaheim Ducks. Right now they're second in the Pacific Division which is a very weak division behind Vegas. And they have a great young core with Mason McTavish, Leo Carlson, guys like that, mixed in with a few older vets. But I think if they want to compete with teams like the Avs, the Stars, the Wild, they need someone that's going to really push them forward.
The NHL, who some members are preparing for the NHL trades to be negatively impacted. And I know, Baylee, you have a lot of insight with this new salary cap, so walk us through what this is what's going on here.
Yeah. The NHL and the NHL Players Association mandate that teams have to dress their lineups within the salary cap this year. Previously, if a player went on long-term injured reserve in the regular season, their salary would not count against the total. But, and this meant that teams could replace the injured player for the playoffs and exceed the cap specifically for the playoffs. Now they don't have the same advantage of bolstering their roster. Each team in the playoffs will have to list 18 skaters and 2 goalies for each game, and their average club salary must be within the salary cap.
Baylee, thank you for that insight, providing us on this new salary cap in the NHL. I'll keep it with you. How do you think this will affect trades overall?
Yeah, I think this is going to mean less exciting trades. Usually this time of year, there is a ton of buzz because we know that certain trades could really shake up the playoffs. Like, there's a lot of potential for upsets in the standings. But this year, we have a good picture of what things look like, and it's not likely that that's going to change, which honestly, kind of disappointing as a fan. Is this what other leagues feel like as you get closer to playoff season?
Yep. NBA trade deadline sucks now.
Yeah.
I know that's still. I mean, there's many blockbusters, but little smaller trades.
The biggest trade was James Harden for Darius Garland. In 5 years ago, that would have been maybe the 4th biggest trade in the league.
Yeah.
How do we keep getting back to the NBA?
I'm
What's
so
going
sorry,
on?
girl. I'm so sorry.
I mean, with Zoppi.
Girl, you better work
he's the
on
biggest fan.
staying on the NHL.
You know me.
That's
Zoppi?
true.
And also me, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
How this will affect trades is that we're going to see less trades, but more blockbusters, like we see in the NBA. There's less movement, and usually they're getting in the lower players are getting bought out, but you're seeing like the top players, they're getting traded more, but there's less. So more quality for quantity.
Andrew.
I'm going to have to say the exact opposite. I think there's going to be less blockbusters. At the deadline, I think it'll make teams think twice about who they're really trading for and if they can really afford it. Before they have someone go down, they could say, okay, we have this room now, we can make the splash. Now they got to think twice about how they're going to structure their deals.
Jason, how does this affect trades overall?
I think we could see other leagues implement similar ideas. Right now with the MLB, you don't have just one playoff roster in between rounds. They can add or drop players as they please. I see the MLB, who is currently considering a salary cap in their league, could take suit, and the NHLPA, the Players Association, could follow what the MLBPA has been doing for year in and year out, which is after every single collective bargaining agreement, the MLBPA and soon to be probably the NHLPA is going to revolt. They're going to fight back against rules like this because, you know what, they're all in it for the money. We're going to see a rebellion. They're going to blow up the Death Star. They're going to be angry.
Yeah, let's not forget about the trades that we've already seen happen. Jason, I'll go to you. What was the best trade that happened so far?
Well, selfishly, I'm glad that Artemi Panarin is out of New York because that puts the
Dumpster
Islanders
fire.
one step closer to being the best team in the state of New York, which they still are not.
They're the Jets.
Panarin's got, Panarin's got 20 goals on the year, 42 assists, 62 total points. This left wing is now with the Los Angeles Kings. This isn't a Gretzky, level of monumental move, but Artemi Panarin, multiple-time All-Star. He's a star in this league. He's been having a down year, but I think he turns that around in a new spot.
Mr. Zoppi, what's the best
I also
trade?
agree. Again, this was the best player on a team that made the conference finals 2 years ago. Best goal scorer, I meant. I would say the goalkeeper was.
That's all you have?
But yeah, it changes a lot. The Kings, however, just fired their coach. I think maybe that could help. I don't know about that, but I feel like with the win against the Islanders, it does help. I feel like it will help them, and maybe they could get the 8th seed.
Girl, you ate that, no crumbs.
Andrew?
I'm going to say the trade between the Blackhawks and the Oilers. The Blackhawks send Jason Dickinson and Colton Dock to Edmonton for Andrew Mangiapane and a 2027 first. And I don't really think any of those guys would really stand out by themselves, but that first really helps Chicago. They have built their draft for the future very well. They have 2 first-round picks this year and 3 seconds, and in next year's draft, they also have 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
Baylee?
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise I'm going to say Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. We've been saying the phrase blockbuster trades this entire time, and Quinn Hughes to Minnesota was the definition of a blockbuster trade. I feel like every 10 minutes or so I'm talking about one of the Hughes brothers. The fact that he left Vancouver and went to Minnesota was a big deal. Having a Norris Trophy winner going to the Wild was a huge deal, and we see that by the fact that they have secured a spot in the playoffs. He's made a big difference, and I think he's going to continue making one.
That'll do it for us on the ice today. Don't forget to follow us at Sports Desk for updates and more. Thank you to all the cast and crew, and a big shout out to our wonderful studio manager, Al Clarke, from Studio B in Hamilton Hall. And from everyone here at the desk, I'm Tyler Cooper, saying so long. See you next Friday right here on WPTV.